With everything we've talked about so far, is it possible to avoid hitting rock bottom? What happens when we avoid hitting rock bottom? I don't want to spoil it, but if you avoid hitting rock bottom, it's like the tree in the woods thing. A tree falls in the woods and no one heard it. Did a tree really fall? If I avoid hitting rock bottom and I put my head in the sand, did I really hit rock bottom? Was it really a part of my journey? If all I've ever done is just avoid doing something, have I really dealt with it? Kind of like putting things in my rage knapsack. If I just keep throwing things in the knapsack, eventually it's gonna just erupt and like a volcano and explode everywhere. I've done that before, and it's not fair to the person that the most calmest conversation ends up just escalating to the most emotional thing. And it's horrible. That's from the resentments building up. That's from the ego filling up that bucket and not giving any room for anything else. Here's the question. If you were to go and lose a successful career because of your addiction, and let's say your career was not important, is that considered hitting rock bottom? Would that be considered a loss? I mean, in my mind, losing a career would be really bad. Losing a significant other from a relationship would be really bad. Family members, friends, trust, love, respect, all these things in my mind they carry heavy weight. If they don't matter to you, is that maybe that's part of the rock bottom process? What do you think? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because to me now, I'm like, oh, family is really important. Family, friends, caring for them, health, safety, like these are all things as I've gotten older, me and my getting older age. If you never value things like career or relationships, if you never value them and you lose them, is it really considered loss? And if I don't value them and they start piling up, if I go through a bunch of relationships and I never value relationships, is it really considered loss or rock bottom? It sounds silly to just say out loud, because every relationship is important. Every person is important. I think that's my ego then talking and my pride driving the bus, because it sounds like I've shut that out. I've put the blinders because I value either myself more than I do relating to that other person. And that was driven by the addiction. That was driven by my alcoholic brain, my addict mind. And that was fed through alcohol and other drugs. It sounds crazy. As I look back now, I'm like, man, I'm so glad that I've been able to have such a supportive community, have such awesome friends, have such really cool people to hang out with that I can have these open conversations with. It's a safe place where we can share and encourage each other. And I made this video one time. I referenced normies. I have this normie friend, and I meant it in like a fun, joking way. And then afterwards, somebody sent me a message after watching the video, and they're like, hey, Jason, I really liked your video. I was like, awesome, way to go. And they're like, but I have a question. I'm like, sure, what is it? And they're like, what's a normie? I was like, wait a minute, hold on. A normie? Only a normie would ask, what's a normie? That's a normal person. A person who's not struggling with addiction or alcoholism or other drugs. It's a person who doesn't have the same kind of, I don't want to call it the same mindset, but I don't want to call it that they haven't struggled or lost, but these are things that don't happen to them, therefore they're normal. And they felt like I was making like an inside joke. And I was like, no, it's not it. No, I don't mean, it's not making fun of you. It's more of a hang out with normal people too, not just alcoholics and addicts, although they're the funnest.